You're listening to the Stewart Media, the #1 sports talk show on the planet. The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce. Texas Pete hot sauce. The Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Doctor, this is the mayor talking.
All right.
Doctor,
Come on, what?
always do the right thing.
If you came here to hear for fake, you are in the wrong place. We are for real around here. We keeps it real. This is the Doug Stewart Show, the livest, the realest, the trillest sports talk show in America. Are you not entertained? This is Sports Talk with Hot Sauce. Texas Pete Hot Sauce, the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah! Game time. What's happening? Yes, sir. Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Man Talk Monday. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. It's going to be a lot of fun today, man. Thank you so much for joining you folk. Ballers, busters, game balls, goats, whatever you want to call them. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to take a lot of your phone calls, read a lot of your chat, do what we do. Bring it back, though, one more time. Bring it back one more time. So, very, very eventful weekend. And, man, I did a lot of things this weekend. This is like the first weekend in a month that I've been in the city of Atlanta. And there were a lot of things that went down. You had the hair show going down this weekend, which is always crazy. Shouts out to the people that come to town that do hair. Her, and I did say her, not hair. I heard a commercial the other day, and the whole commercial, the chick was saying her and referring to hair. So the hair show, the Bronner Brothers hair show was here this weekend. I actually went to church on Sunday morning. The first time I've done that in a long time. Not because I don't want to go, and not because I don't love the Lord. It's just like I said, I've been out of town the last couple of weeks. I went to a track meet one weekend, a wedding another weekend. I went to South Carolina State's alumni convention one weekend. So this is the first time in a month I've been in town. So I went to church, went to a party Saturday night. Shouts out to Missy. She turned 40. My friend Missy, not Missy Elliott. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I did a Periscope Saturday night at this birthday party, and I said, at Missy's party. And so I'm finding out now, everybody thought it was Missy Elliott. The he, not that Missy. No, just a chick named Missy, a cool chick named Missy. What else did I do? I played golf yesterday, watched a lot of TV, NFL preseason action, did all of that. What else did I do? Saw Power. Saw the season finale of Power. Yes, sir. And we're going to talk about that today. I'm sorry. You had 2 days or a day and a half to watch it. We're going to talk about the season finale of Power, and I also saw Straight Outta Compton. The crazy Mickey Ficky name Ice Cube from a gang called With Attitude. We're going to talk about that today as well. Now, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. If you haven't seen Straight Outta Compton, we're not really going to talk about details. It's a biopic, okay? So you know what happened. Definitely people that lived during the time knows exactly what happened. And that's kind of one of the issues I had with the movie. Now, let me say this from the beginning. The movie was great. I thought it was fantastic. But I had a couple little issues. And I poke at things. And I'm a stickler for, how a movie or how a TV show flows or whatever. So we'll talk about that today. I'll get your thoughts. But it's a biopic, so we're not spoiling it for anybody. This is documented. But we'll give you a little heads up, a little 5-minute heads up and be like, all right, we're going to talk about Straight Outta Compton for the next couple of minutes. If you don't want to hear, then you need to tune out for a couple of seconds. Also today on the Doug Stewart Show, a huge announcement, man. A huge announcement. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the show, and I've been teasing it for the last couple of weeks, Stewies. But today I tell you on how it's going to go down the weekend of September 26th, 2015. It's a celebration, bitches. It's a celebration. And it's ironic, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. It's ironic that I talk about, all the big things that Stewart Media and Entertainment are doing and the Doug Stewart Show is doing in our 1-year anniversary. And we're on a natural high. And it's very ironic on how the old station that we worked at has shut its doors forever. Oh. And it's a tragic story. It's a tragic American story on what happened to that station that we worked at, me and my brother worked at, the Two Live Stews. It's a tragic story. It's a tragic American story. But to quote my old grandmama and a lot of y'all grandmamas, God don't like ugly. He don't like it. Wait, I'm not laughing. I shouldn't laugh. I mean, that's insincere. Had a lot of great times there, man. Once again, it was a great American story on the success of the station. And then it was a tragic American story as well, man. And I'm sure there'll be a book written about it, and there are going to be a couple of chapters written about the Two Live Stews. Trust me, there's a book being written right now about the Two Live Stews. But that story about the station that closed down, and if you don't know, I'm talking about 790 The Zone here in Atlanta, Georgia. Somebody hit me on Facebook this morning. I didn't know what was going on, and said that they're done. Stick a fork in them. 790 The Zone, and I turned to the station. The call on the dial, and they're playing the sister station's music, Star 94. And I'm like, wow. You kind of saw it coming for the last couple of years, but I guess this weekend it was all out. And so really, really tragic, man. Tragic. But around here, man, we excited because we doing big-ass things. Yes, sir. And I'll tell you about the weekend of September 26th coming up a little bit later on today's show. All right, the number to the show is 382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. But if you're new to the show, the easy way to be totally interactive and respond and comment and give your takes on whatever I'm talking about on the show is to go on Spreaker.com, follow the show on Spreaker, and then hit the little chat bubble. There's a chat bubble, and you click on that, and then you're introduced to a whole new world. I call it the fantasy island of sports chat, and its inhabitants are the Stewies. Yes. Yes, sir. Shouts out to all of the Stewies, everybody in the chat room, man. Thank you so much for being totally interactive. And, man, they're already in there hot and heavy doing the damn thing and having a good time like we do every single day, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you follow your boy on Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you follow me on all those platforms. And the username is at the Doug Stewart Show. All right. So we're going to talk some golf. Jordan Spieth, Jason Day, Tiger Woods. Damn, Tiger! Some NFL preseason action went down this weekend. We'll talk about some prominent quarterbacks or some names as far as quarterbacks in the NFL and how they did this weekend. Some of the young guys, Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, Tim Tebow. Damn, a participation trophy. And we can go ahead and get this out right now. You saw the story about Snoop Dogg's son quitting football, man. And listen, man, I've said this many times and had this discussion on this show many times. Everybody don't have to play football, man. Everybody don't have to play football. Cordell Broadus, Snoop's son, who declared that he was going to play football at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. He quit the team. He never showed up for the first practice. Man, and a lot of people have been talking about it because the story was documented on MTV. And the day that he declared, you can go back and look at my Facebook. I swear to you, you can go back and look at my Facebook on, I think it was May 4th this year, when he declared he was going to UCLA. You could just look at the kid and tell he didn't want to play football. And I posted on my Facebook, either this kid doesn't want to play football or he's got a peeping turtle. Because the kid clearly didn't look happy. And if you saw the show, man, clearly Snoop was living vicariously through this cat. And, you know, Snoop's about 125 pounds soaking wet, so he can never play football, I guess. But he likes the game. They said Snoop was a pretty good athlete, but he pushed the hell out of this kid, man. This kid didn't want to play football. And that's fine. This kid might be a great musician. He might be a great rapper like his daddy. He might be, I think they talked about him being a film major or whatever. He's going to stay at UCLA. That's a good thing. The kid might be a scientist. The kid might be a dancer. The kid might be, I don't know, an obstetrician, a gynecologist or something like that. A lawyer. The kid can be anything he wants. You don't have to play football, man. And if you don't want to play football, your heart ain't in it, you really don't need to be out there, man. It's just as simple as that. This is 2015. All these studies and the information that's come out about CTE and concussions and brain damage. I mean, hell, I've lost probably about 125 points in my IQ because of playing football. I mean, I'm smart as hell now, but imagine how smart I would have been if I didn't play football. So bottom line is, you don't have to play football. Don't push your kid to do anything that they don't want to do, man. Oh, this is a sad story. It's another sad American story. A lot of sad American stories today on the Doug Stewart Show, early today. All right, man, when we get back from the break, we're going to talk a little bit about the PGA Championship this past weekend at Whistling Straits. And Jason Day did the damn thing. Yes, sir. So we'll get into that. It's a Man Talk Monday. We need your ballers and your busters, a.k.a. your game balls and your goats. And let's have some fun, man. A little bit later, I'm going to tell you about the weekend of September 26th. It's a celebration, bitches. It is. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked. This is the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! I don't like Johnny Gill. He took my spot on New Edition. One of my favorite songs of all time from New Edition is Can You Stand the Rain? So to pay ode to that famous song, man, I'm going to give you my little rendition of Can You Stand the Rain? On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. Ooh. When that's not possible, tell me, can you weather the storm? Then Ralph jumps in. 'Cause I need somebody who will stand. Shut up! Who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She will always be right there. Hey, sunny days. Everybody has them. And tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? J-Rob, Tree, if you stop Doug singing, we will renege your BPA nomination. Huh? Busta, Doug, I see why you got kicked out of New Edition. Wait a minute. Back up, Jack. Shut up. Studio audience, y'all are out of control today. I mean, seriously, we're going to talk about this. We're going to have to take y'all into Larry's office after this show. That ninja, you just cracked my damn phone screen. What? Where's all of this coming from? Who's putting y'all up to say these things? Who's putting y'all... Okay, Tree, jump on for a second. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Did you prompt these people to say these nasty things to me on Spreaker.com?
You know what?
I mean, it's jealousy. Tree, we know that you sing. But you don't have to be the only person that can sing, okay? I can see it. What do the kids call it? Hating? Is that what's going on here, Tree? Are you hating on Doug Stewart? Dirty Della.
Oh, my God.
Dirty Della. Oh. Dirty Della. Oh. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Might be one of the greatest tracks ever. Now, what truffle butter actually is, and I learned what it is on UrbanDictionary.com. What truffle butter is absolutely disgusting. But this track is hot. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. August 17th, 2015. And it is a Man Talk Monday, Ballers and Busters, a.k.a. your game balls and your goals. So a lot of interesting things happened this past weekend in the world of sports, man. And so we're going to talk about them today. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. We do birthdays. We really have a good time. This ain't your traditional sports talk show. Just trust me on that. We talk sports. That's kind of the base, the foundation of what we get into. But it's so much more that we talk about. It's guy talk. It's entertainment. It's whatever. We do birthdays. Once again, we'll talk about some of the day's birthdays in the next segment. Later in today's show, man, I got a huge announcement for you. I've been kind of teasing it the last couple of weeks to the Stewies, all revolved around the one-year anniversary of the Doug Stewart Show. So I'll tell you about that a little bit later, so stay tuned. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Congratulations to Jason Day. He wins his first major in winning the PGA Championship this past weekend. Held off Jordan Spieth once again, who comes in second by 3 strokes. And Jordan Spieth now, speaking of ballers, ball award to Jordan Spieth, as Jordan Spieth wins the first 2 majors of the year, comes in second in the British Open as well as the PGA Championship this past weekend. Ball award to him, even though he didn't win. But he's been balling or golfing his ass off, I guess is the proper way to say it. So ball award to them cats, man. And on that same note, Busta award, and I hate to do it, this might be the most painful Buster that I've ever had to distribute in my life. And we've been doing Ballers and Busters well over a decade with the 2 Live Stews and on the Doug Stewart Show here. Buster award, man. And I think even the people that thought there was a possible comeback are now switched over. Buster award to Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods misses his 3rd cut in a row. I think it's his 4th cut out of the last 5 tournaments that he's missed the cut on as well. And, I mean, me and my boy were talking about it yesterday. I played 9 holes yesterday at the great John A. White in Southwest Atlanta. And we were talking about it yesterday. Shouts out to Grease. What up, Q? And Grease said to me, you know what the bad thing about Tiger is? Not only is Tiger not competitive and he's not making these cuts, but if you watch him play, like he's no better than me and you. And at that point, I was already like 18 strokes over. He was like, he's not better than me and you. And if you've seen Tiger, man, he can't get out of the sand. He can't get out of the sand. He misses putts that were just like he could do backwards, standing on his freaking head. I mean, he's duffing shots. When you see a pro duff shots, let me back up. There's no when you see a pro. You don't see that. You don't see pros duff shots. And Tiger Woods seemingly does it tournament in and tournament out. And it's really sad to see because I always tell people I'm the biggest Tiger Woods fan of all times, but I got to keep it real. And right now, Tiger Woods, and if you could see me, I'm holding 2 thumbs down. He sucks. He sucks. And it's hurtful. It's very, very hurtful, but I got to keep it real. And Tiger sucks right now, man, in the same old song and dance. He's got to work on some things, this, that, and the other. Now, listen, and I know you're going to say you're hedging your bet when you say this, but I really, really mean it from the bottom of my heart. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I hope that I'm wrong about Tiger Woods. I hope that he can win 4. He can win 4 more majors and pass Jack with the 5th major. I hope he can do it because when Tiger Woods is good, golf is more fun, and that's just real. It's not. I didn't even talk about the PGA Championship on last week's shows on Thursday and Friday, really. To be honest with you, it kind of slipped my mind because Tiger wasn't the conversation. He wasn't in the thick of things, and you knew he wouldn't be in the thick of things with this tournament, and so it was kind of like out of sight, out of mind. And so I hope that I'm wrong, and if that's the case, and Tiger does do the miraculous and come back and win these majors to tie and pass Jack Nicklaus, then I'll say I was wrong. And I've been wrong before. We're in the business of being right and prognosticating. We are. So I don't think I'm going to be wrong, but in this case, I hope that I'm wrong. But I don't think so. That ninja sucked. He do. It's hurtful. It's very hurtful. I know a lot of you out there listening to the show don't like to hear this type of conversation. Tiger Woods, he's our hero, especially the black people. We love Tiger Woods. The black community, we love Tiger Woods. You know, even though he said he ain't black. But we love Tiger Woods, and Tiger Woods brought a bunch of us to golf, to the sport, and we root for Tiger. You know, he's like the black people's champion. But right now, the black people champions suck. That's just real. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. The easy way to be totally interactive. And I'm going to start reading your chat coming up in the next segment. The way to be totally interactive is through the chat on Spreaker.com. Follow the show on Spreaker, and then hit the little chat button and be totally interactive and post your thoughts, and I read them all throughout that show's the day of that show, on that day. All right, so we got to talk about power. Tree, can you jump on here for a second? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Tree is the producer to the Doug Stewart Show, if you're new to the show. Tree, we got to talk about power. We got to make room to talk about power, the season finale of Power. We also got to talk about Straight Outta Compton, which I'm sure everybody in America saw based on the numbers. They made $56 million this weekend. Next segment, I'm going to jump to some chat. I'm going to do the birthdays. And you want to talk about power, too, in the next segment? What's
I really do.
Okay.
I really do. I had to take some medication after that.
Okay, yeah, very good. I'll give you my thoughts on it in the next segment, though. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Very eventful weekend going down. And speaking of very eventful weekends, the weekend of September 26th, man. I'll tell you about that a little bit later. It's going to be huge, man. Talked about it at the beginning of the show, man. The Doug Stewart Show is flourishing. I mean, we're doing big stuff. I mean, nobody, and I mean very few people, except for me and Tree, thought that we could do this. And it's working out. It's getting bigger and better every single day. Over 8,000 followers, close to 9,000 followers, over 200,000 plus listens on this platform. Online radio, it takes a little bit for people to get used to, but we're doing it real big woolly style. And I did say woolly. I'm from the low country of South Carolina. And so sometimes we pronounce our I's like U's. So we're doing it real big woolly style. All right, we are. And the weekend of September 26th, man, a bunch of great things going down, and I'll tell you about it a little bit later today on the show. Yes, I will. Yes, sir. Hey, speaking of big things, you can buy advertising on the Doug Stewart Show, a 60-second ad on the Doug Stewart Show starting at $5. That's right, on Fiverr.com. That's Fiverr, 2 R's at the end, .com. Fiverr.com. Just search the Doug Stewart Show once you get on there, and 60-second ad starting at $5. And there's more gigs that go with that after the $5, but we're starting you off at $5. We also do voiceovers. We do social media promotion. And we'll even, this is crazy. We'll even broadcast your show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network starting at $5. Now, that's unbelievable. So check out all the gigs on Fiverr.com. That's Fiverr.com. All right, we get back from the break. Power talk, birthday talk, chat. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Let's face it, the metro Atlanta area is a great place to live, but like most major cities, it has a huge crime problem. Doug Stewart here to tell you about the team of security experts at Strickland Security and Safety Solutions. Strickland Security is an Atlanta-based security company, and whether you need an alarm system installed in your home or business or your current alarm system needs to be repaired, Strickland Security is the solution. Do you need to install or repair an existing camera system in your home or business? Again, Strickland Security is the solution. The management team at Strickland Security has a combined 55 years in the business of protecting people and property. They have certified and licensed technicians that can service all of your security needs. So, if you have crime issues or concerns in your neighborhood, you need to call the experts at Strickland Security. Invite these guys to your next neighborhood watch or homeowners association meeting and let them tell you about all of their security services. One more thing. Go to their website to see their new mobile solutions. They developed a smartphone app specifically for neighborhood crime and safety notifications. For more information, go to their website at stricklandsecurity.com or give them a call at 800-422-9075 and tell them that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! I don't like Johnny Gill. He took my spot on New Edition. One of my favorite songs of all time from New Edition is Can You Stand the Rain? So to pay ode to that famous song, man, I'm going to give you my little rendition of Can You Stand the Rain? On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. Ooh. When that's not possible, tell me, can you weather the storm? Then Ralph jumps in. 'Cause I need somebody who will stand. Shut up! Who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She will always be right there. Hey, sunny days. Everybody has them. Tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? J-Rob, Tree, if you stop Doug singing, we will renege your BPA nomination. Huh? Busta, Doug, I see why you got kicked out of New Edition. Wait a minute. Back up, Jack. Shut up. Studio audience, y'all are out of control today. I mean, seriously, we're going to talk about this. We're going to have to take y'all into Larry's office after this show. That ninja, you just cracked my damn phone screen. What? Where's all of this coming from? Who's putting y'all up to say these things? Who's putting y'all... Okay, Tree, jump on for a second. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Did you prompt these people to say these nasty things to me on Spreaker.com?
You know what?
I mean, it's jealousy. Tree, we know that you sing. But you don't have to be the only person that can sing. Okay? I can see it. What do the kids call it? Hating? Is that what's going on here, Tree? Are you hating on Doug Stewart? Dirty Della.
Oh, my God.
Dirty Della. Oh. Dirty Della. Oh. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! If you're not Stewart, what the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday. And talking about your ballers and your busters, your game balls and your goats. We'll talk a little bit later today about the the prominent quarterbacks in the NFL that got a lot of press this weekend. Some of the rookie quarterbacks, Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota and those guys. We'll talk about those games a little bit and what they did on the field for their first times out, as well as James Harrison, man, says, damn, a participation trophy. And I 100% agree with that. We'll talk about Straight Outta Compton a little bit later today on the show as well. In a couple of seconds, stay tuned. In a couple of seconds, we're going to talk about the season finale of Power. You don't want to miss that. Stay tuned to that as well. A lot of great stuff today on the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's quickly talk about these birthdays. Rudy Gay turns 29 years old today. I think he plays for Sacramento right now. Small forward, solid player. He turns 29. Happy birthday to Rudy Gay. Sean Penn turns 55 years old today. Damn. Carlito's Way, Dead Man Walking, Colors. I forgot Sean Penn played in Colors. Speaking of West Coast and Compton and all of that stuff. That was probably the earliest hood gangster type movie. Maybe that was before New Jack City and before Boys in the Hood. Tree, what do you think?
It was the earliest inkling that we got that the police might be for me.
Right.
And it was like, you can't go see Colors because
right.
It's that whole thing again that's scary. It's scary to be in California. It's
right.
I mean, we can talk about it more, but I thought about it yesterday when I was 16 and I lived in the foster, or I guess I was younger. I think I was like 14 then. I lived in a foster home and they had relatives in Compton. And so I managed to work up and save up $200 so I could go to California. And I was terrified when they showed that railroad scene.
Right.
Wherever I was staying with that lady's family, they lived by that same kind of railroad track. I went there. It was just like, it was just a neighborhood.
Right. And that's really the thing. And you kind of get an idea of what you think a place is like because you see it on TV. And I have people tell me all the time that Compton is just like any other city. There's places you go. There's places you don't go. There's places right here in Atlanta that I wouldn't go with your damn feet. Right here in Atlanta. You know, and if you live around here, you know exactly the places I'm talking about. But if you just stay clear of certain places, you good. And, yeah, man, so I guess this is probably one of the first movies. Colors was one of the first movies in the long line of the gang-type movies, talking about the Bloods and the Crips, that whole culture on the West Coast in California. And what was the guy named? OG Bobby Fischer? OG Bobby something. I can't remember what his name. The black dude, he's been in a ton of movies. I can't remember that guy's name. But Sean Penn was actually in that as a cop. Happy birthday to him. He turns 55. And also, man, the great Robert De Niro turns 72 years old today. One of my favorite actors of all times. Now, if we did a top five, we do top fives on the Doug Stewart Show all the time. If we did a top five actors in the last 35, 40 years, I think Robert De Niro would be on my list. I could give you a quick list right now. Number one would be Denzel, I think. Or maybe my number one would be Samuel Jackson. So Samuel Jackson, number one. I love Samuel Jackson. I'm sick and tired of these Mickey-Ficky snakes on this Mickey-Ficky plane. I love me some Samuel Jackson. You know what they call a Big Mac in France? They call it a Royale with cheese. What do you mean they call it a Royale with cheese? So Samuel Jackson might be number one, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Denzel would be two. Number three, I think number three might be De Niro. I think De Niro might be number three. I'm trying to think of any other actors maybe I'm missing out there. But, yeah, I love Robert De Niro, man. Once again, my favorite movie of all time is Goodfellas. And, you know, he prominently starred in that. So Robert De Niro, 72 years old. You remember Cape Fear? You saw Cape Fear, Tree? Robert De Niro, I want you to go back, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I want you to go back and look at that Cape Fear with Robert De Niro starred in it.
He did that.
He was ripped to shreds. I don't know what kind of steroids he was on. And if you remember, there was a scene in there, I think he was doing pull-ups or something like that. And Robert De Niro was ripped to shreds. And you talk about a scary movie and one of those movies where it jumps out at you and you go, ugh. And that Cape Fear movie was crazy, man. One of my favorite movies of all time as well. So happy birthday to Robert De Niro. All right.
They say this is a big rich town.
Yes, sir.
I just come from the poet's part.
Oh, I should have sung
like
this.
City life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down.
Season finale of Power.
I just happen to come up hard.
All right, Tree.
Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make
I never
it.
took the straight path nowhere. Life's full of twists and turns.
Season
Bumps
finale
and
of Power
bruises. I
Tree.
live, I learn. I'm from
What are your
a city
thoughts?
full of yellow cabs and
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Simple as that.
Exhausted.
You are exhausted.
I was completely exhausted. I was already well lit up, so it was just excruciating pain. My heart, we were screaming at the TV. We were screaming like people were really shooting in our house. It was fantastic, but it was all over the place
Yeah.
at the same damn time.
Now, for the next 5 minutes or 2 or 3 minutes, we're going to talk about Power. So if you didn't see it yet, I mean, shame on you, first of all. But you might want to turn your radio down for the next couple of minutes. Did you realize, or did you think before it was revealed that Ghost was the one killing everybody up on the show?
Well, I said it probably when they were like, when the police officer was trying to warn, somebody was trying to say that Tommy was next.
Okay. Right.
Then I kind of thought it was Ghost.
I had no clue. I mean, that was real cute how they
When
did
they
that.
killed Marlo, or I know that's not his name, but I don't know the ninja's name.
Marlo was his character's name on The Wire.
Right. You know, we do that here. I
Right.
just call
Yeah,
people
right.
whatever their old character was. So when they killed Marlo, I'm thinking, you a psychic.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, what kind of psychic are you?
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. All right, so a couple of observations. Obviously, Ball Award to Power, man, to the second season. I don't know if they got new writers. The first season was good, but this season was exceptional. A lot of loose ends to be tied up. What's going to go down with Tommy? They kind of left it like 50 Cent was dead, but then he wasn't dead. I don't know how they're going to do that. I mean, hell, he poured gas on the man and lit his ass on fire. So they kind of left it like at the very end that 50 Cent actually, or Kanan, actually survived this thing. I don't know how they're going to fix that. Holly can't keep her ass gone. I mean, what's the matter with her? Every time I turn around, man, didn't he pay you to take your ass on somewhere? Every time I turn around, goddamn, Holly showing her face. That pissed me off.
She's Felicia from Friday.
Exactly.
That's who she is.
Exactly. Also, what else jumped at me? I can't believe Angela snitched on old boy. Well, dude was stalking her. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Dude was stalking her, so I kind of get it. What do you think?
No. Wait. She did that ish to protect herself. It wasn't because he was stalking her. It was because he was going to make her join together with him. Mm-hmm. And so she went and got him got before he could get her got.
Right, okay.
I thought he was going to kill her ass in the garbage dispensary, wherever they were.
Right. The little dude, Dre, is now, I guess, going to be Ghost's new right-hand man. He helped, Ghost do that deed or whatever.
He can't be trusted, especially when Fire Marshal Kanan comes back.
So wait a minute. You think Kanan's going to come back looking like Fire Marshal Bill? I mean, clearly all burnt the hell up like a toast, like a piece of toast.
He's going to come back like your boy on Batman. Remember that dude in the Batman that Heath Ledger was in?
Two-Face, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He going to come back like that.
Lobos,
he ain't going to come back this season either.
Let me say this, and I'm very particular, and I'm a stickler about things and how movies flow. One thing that really I wasn't down with is the fact that it seemed like Ghost had a gun to his head probably 4 or 5 times in this one episode, and somehow he managed to survive. That was BS. And every time I look around, Ghost got a gun in his face. And somehow he does that little quick move, flips the gun around. Like, how many times you going to do that? And I know it's a drama, and you got to have dramaful things. I definitely get that, but I didn't think that was cool, man. Lobo survived getting stabbed up in his kidney like 35 times. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
Come on.
Did you see?
What?
Did you see that Scotty from the chat? He said that the pinstripe wearing ninja was shady, was dirty.
Right, yeah.
And you saw what happened, right?
Yeah, exactly. What exactly are you talking about?
When he put the phone down for him to use it.
Oh, yeah.
And he called him boss.
Yeah, he called him boss. The guy was working with the syndicate, with Lobos's people from the very beginning. It's kind of like the police chief. Was he like the police chief? Is that was like his title or whatever?
He came in and took that other Italian lady's place.
Yeah.
Conveniently.
Yeah. So it was good, man. What are your thoughts on Power? All I'm going to do is read chat when we get back from the break. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. All right? Chat up next. Keep it locked.
Legal or illegal, baby,
I never took a straight path nowhere. Life's full of twists and turns, bumps and bruises. I live, I learn. I'm from that city full of yellow cabs and skyscrapers. It's hard to get a start in these parts without paper. Homie, I grew up in hell.
You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it, and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on thedougsstewartshow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougsstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's Stu for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW. This is the Doug Stewart Show. All right, so y'all can see we got some new music today. I love this track. Puffy and Pharrell. They actually performed this at the BET Awards. What's it called? I can't remember what the damn name of the song is. Puff Daddy and the Family featuring Pharrell. All right, this is the Doug Stewart Show. The number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Stay tuned in about 15 minutes. Breaking news. Not really breaking news. Or a big announcement. That's probably the best way to say it on the Doug Stewart Show, man. I'm going to tell you about what we got going on the weekend of September 26th. Celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the Doug Stewart Show. All right? So stay tuned, and I'll give you all the details, man. I can't say it enough, man. Thank you so much for all the support, all the love with the show, with the network. September 22nd, once again, will be 1 year, and we are doing big-ass things. Yes, we are. I mean, if it had a thing, if it had an ass, it'd be big. If things had an ass, it'd be big. You understand what I'm saying? And so we're going to celebrate in a huge, huge type of way, man. So stay tuned. I'll tell you about that in about 15 minutes. We also got to talk about Straight Outta Compton. We kind of discussed a little bit about Power and what went down last weekend or this past weekend. So we also have to talk about Straight Outta Compton a little bit today on the show. All right, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. From Shamar Anderson Evans from the Spreaker chat. He says the Snoop character could have been better. I like the Snoop character. All right, now, so we're talking a little bit about Straight Outta Compton here, so I'm not going to get into detail because we're going to try to set it up a little bit more later. I actually like the Snoop character. I thought he did well. Now, I don't know what more you could have done. I don't know what more you could have done. And if you remember,
he didn't look right. He looked like corrupt.
So you didn't like him. You didn't like the Snoop character.
No, I mean, if I closed my eyes, he was working, but not when I opened them.
You know what? I think that you got to remember, and I think people are forgetting, when Snoop first came with that track, what was this track that he did with Dr. Dre from the soundtrack?
On that movie, Deep Cover.
Deep Cover. When Snoop first came out in the Deep Cover soundtrack, if you remember the visuals, Snoop didn't have the dreads. He didn't have that long hair or anything like that. He didn't have the braids. He wore a baseball cap just like the dude had. He had a low haircut. He had a baby-looking face. And I thought the dude did pretty damn good that played Snoop in the movie. And he was only in it for like 3 minutes.
You're right. He did look like that. It's just, I don't know.
You were expecting more.
Yeah.
Scotty says, hey, Tree, we were correct on our suspicion about Mr. Stuffy Shirt. Who the hell is Mr. Stuffy Shirt? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show.
The man in the pinstripes wearing soft shirts.
Oh, yeah. That's how you keep referring to that dude.
On Power.
Yeah. Miss Mocha Bella, $56.1 million straight out of Compton. Yes, praise God. From Grego. He says, BPA to Sean, he still had a terrible acting, even playing dead. Now, that is funny. That's one thing. Let me ask you about that, Tree. All right, so Sean was dead. Obviously he was dead. He was killed by Kanan.
Well, we saw him in the morgue.
Right. Dre, but hold on. Dre was 50 Cent's right-hand man before he became Ghost's right-hand man. Didn't Dre said that he got rid of the body? What did he mean by that? Was he setting up Kanan and saying that he got rid of the body, but he really didn't? He took the body to where the police could find the body? Because I thought when he said he got rid of the body, he buried it in the desert or something like that. But actually, that wasn't the case. Yeah. See, you didn't even think about that.
No, I did. I just assumed they pulled him out of the water or something, except his face would have looked more blown up and...
Right. No.
Yeah.
Rigor mortis did not set in on the guy. It looked just like Sean with a hole in his head. From Clay Davis's Sheed Advisor. If you're born before 1989, then you should know about NWA's story. Once again, when we talk about the movie, we're going to talk about the movie. Let's set it up right now for 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time. We're also going to talk about, I didn't mention this as much as I should have. We're going to talk briefly about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the New York Jets a little bit later in today's show as well. We'll talk about a little bit more my issues. And they're not really issues, but some of the things that kind of I thought about the movie, and that's one in particular right there what Clay Davis's Sheed Advisor said. If you were born before 1989, then you should know about the NWA story. From Cleo to 72, that is what they get for breaking up the Stewies like Jerry Heller breaking up NWA. Very, very interesting comparisons Tree made with Jerry Heller and our former agent Norm Shrut and NWA and the Two Live Stews. She made some very interesting comparisons a little bit earlier today on Periscope before we even started the show. From Thel Pay, I thought Greg was about to take Angela's ass out. I thought so, too. I thought he was going to try to choke her. But he didn't. Clay Davis, the sheet advisor again. When Tommy called Ghost just a corner boy, I thought he was going to finish it off with the N-word.
Tommy thinks he's one of us anyway.
That's what I was about to say. Tommy thinks he's the N-word.
Yeah.
From Uncle Mike, you can't play football if your heart ain't in it. Talking about Snoop's son. And I definitely agree with that. Been talking about that for a long, long time. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Encyclopedia Brown, as soon as Michael Sam came out, he started running. I'm laughing because I kind of read ahead a little bit. And this was from Encyclopedia Brown. As soon as Michael Sam came out, he started running like a girl and forgot how to tackle. Could have been a first or second rounder had he kept his mouth shut. But play football first. I guess he wanted to say, but do you or be you? Oh, okay, that's what he said, be you. If you haven't heard, Michael Sam has quit football. The Montreal Alouettes in Canada. He just quit. He says his mind's not in it. He gave some type of cryptic message on Twitter talking about his mental health. I don't know, man. Once again, just like Jonathan Martin, just like Snoop's son, you know, Michael Sam don't want to play no football, man. It's as simple as that. He don't want to play no football. And we're making a big thing out about all these guys quitting and not playing, but once again, there's more information accessible by some of these cats that understand what goes along. See, you just see on Friday night or Saturday or Sunday, you just see the finished product. But before you get to game time, there's 2 days in August. And usually it's 100 degrees. And you're running up into grown-ass men that eat weights for breakfast. You know, straight up killers. And when you really think about it, do you want to put yourself through that if your heart ain't in it? Nah. And it's probably best for everybody. And a lot of those type of stories we're hearing about over the last year or so from Scotty. Tommy and Ghost were probably both hitting Tasha back in the day. Tasha cooks for Tommy, and they are way too comfortable around each other. I'd hate to see Tommy, lay up with Tasha, man. I'd hate to see
He
that.
is, though, so you might as well get ready.
You think so?
Oh, he is going to get it. All we need to do is get rid of Ding Dong once she goes away.
Right.
Which there's some interesting commentary in the chat room about why she's really there.
Now, one thing I will say about that, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I can't remember a character that's grown on me as much as Tommy has from the first season to the second. And this character has just totally flipped from the way I felt about him in season 1 to the way I feel about him right now. Season 1, I hated him. I thought he was a terrible actor. Season 2, I'm like, Tommy is a good-ass actor. He's playing the hell out of that role.
Do you understand that is pretty much across the board to the point where my homies were like, Tommy, I couldn't stand him last time, but he could get it now.
What? They're trying to give him some ass now?
And so I'm telling you, and Tommy, you know what else? It's the loyalty, but he will take care of a woman.
Yeah.
He will treat Tasha like a queen.
Right. He really
I'm telling you, they're going to get it.
He really a sucker. He's still a sucker on how he treat Holly. I mean, his nose is wide open. It's like there's a double-barrel shotgun up his nose.
But he's going to be like that with anybody because that's in his spirit. He is a loyal individual across the board. And so he has captured the hearts of black women, honey.
What?
Because these are staunch, they said he could get it.
Ninjets.
After the jail scene, it was on.
Yeah. All right. So still sprinkle in some power talk. In about 15 minutes, we're going to talk about Straight Outta Compton. We'll give you our thoughts, me and Tree. Read your chat messages, your post about everything that happened this past weekend in the world of sports, entertainment, and beyond. But when we get back from the break, man, on the Doug Stewart Show, huge announcement, man. I'm going to break it down to you what's going down the weekend of September 26th. Oh, it's acceleration. Yes, sir. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! This is your boy Doug Stewart, one half of the Two Live Stews. Check out my brand new daily show and podcast that airs live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Spreaker.com. That's the Doug Stewart Show daily at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Spreaker.com. Or check out the podcast anytime, 24/7. If you're not stewing, what in the world are you doing?
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your number one advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Hour number 2, baby. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday, Ballers and Busters, Game Balls and Goats. That's what we do around here on Mondays. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. We're going to talk about Notre Dame football a little bit. The New York Jets football team a little bit later today as well. But, man, I've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks, man. And so let me give you all the details of what's going down the weekend of September 26, 2015. It's a celebration! Yes, the 1-year anniversary of the Doug Stewart Show is rolling around, man, and we're going to celebrate it real big Wooly style, man. The entire weekend long, we're having a series of events and parties. Starting of which, on Friday night, the meet and greet party going down, the Welcome to Atlanta party is what I'm calling it, is going down at the Artist Den Lounge, Stir It Up for some people that know it by that name, located in downtown ATL, real sexy space. Meet and greet, that's where it's going down Friday night. Let me back up a second. I'm kind of building this thing up, the whole theme being the Doug Stewart Show 1-year anniversary celebration weekend, as well as the Carolina weekend celebration. I'm from South Carolina, and for many, many years, we've been trying to put together a weekend where we get all the people from South Carolina that live in Metro Atlanta, as well as get people from the state of South Carolina that still lives there to come to Atlanta and really kick it. So you're going to get to meet all of the great people from the low country of South Carolina, all the people from the Midlands, which is Columbia area, and the upstate of South Carolina that are going to come in town for these events, and as well as the Stewies, and we're just going to have a great time the entire weekend. So Friday night kicks it off at Stir It Up, a.k.a. the Artist Den Lounge, Friday night. Late Friday night, and this is some new innovative type stuff here. late Friday night, after you leave the Artist Den, we have a hookup, a VIP section at Tees. And you might ask yourself, Tees? What the hell is Tees? Tees is a local gentleman's club establishment. And so Saturday night, or late Friday night, when we leave the Artist Den, then the guys, and ladies too if you want, you can come hang out with us. I'm calling it the Gentleman's Soiree at Tees in the heart of Buckhead. Saturday, we're going to have a golf tournament at North Fulton Golf Course, which is real cool because the golf course is located in downtown. It's in Buckhead, which is real cool. You're playing golf in the city. We're going to have a golf tournament that tees off at 9 a.m. that morning. Saturday night is the coup de grace, the big event for the weekend, the all-black party at the Host Hotel, Doubletree Hotel in Buckhead. We actually have a block of rooms that they put off to the side for us where you can get a room at the Doubletree Hotel, the Host Hotel, for just $99 a night, Friday and Saturday night. So that Saturday night is the big shebang, the all-black party, which is going to be real sexy, grown and sexy. And then here's the big one. We topping it off on Sunday for my ATL people, for the Stewies, for my people from South Cackalack that are still in town. That Sunday, it just so happened to work out that the Atlanta Falcons are playing the Dallas Cowboys that day. Yes! Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. So, and if you didn't know, and I've talked about it many times before on the show, on the Doug Stewart Show and on the Two Live Stews, South Carolina is pretty much the unofficial, or the Dallas Cowboys is the unofficial pro team for the state of South Carolina. I mean, literally. I mean, I think if you did a poll, 80% of the people in the state of South Carolina are Dallas Cowboy fans, or the older generation, my era of people that lived and grew up there. So this is perfect. We are having a viewing/day party at Sweet Lounge in downtown ATL. Tailgate style. DJ Bing, who is the DJ for the Two Live Stews tailgates for the past 10 years, will be on the wheels of steel. If you know anything about Sweet Lounge, real nice, big-ass projection screens. Once again, tailgate style. We're going to have a grill out there. The plan is to have a grill, low country, South Carolina type cuisine, all going down. All right, that's Sunday. And once the game is over at 4 o'clock, the game comes on at 1. Once the game is done at 4, DJ Bing's going to go crazy, and we're going to party, day party style at Sweet Lounge. So that's it. The weekend of September 26th, book your flights. Tell your boss you're not going to be coming to work. You're going to kick it with your boy, Doug Stewart, the Doug Stewart Show, the Carolina people on the Carolina weekend / the Doug Stewart Show weekend. Yes, sir. A little bit later today, we're going to release a flyer and all the details of where you can get tickets in advance on Eventbrite. So once again, that Friday, welcome to Atlanta party at the Artist Den. Friday night, the Gentleman's Soiree at Tees. Saturday, golf tournament. We're going to give away trophies for that as well. All black party Saturday night, the Doubletree Hotel, the Host Hotel in Buckhead. And Sunday, the Falcons versus Cowboys viewing party. The biggest viewing/day party in Atlanta on that day to check out the Birds versus the Boys. Yes, sir! Tree, I see a big-ass smile on your face. You know your boy do it big. I mean, we're going to do it big.
You're a clown.
We like Jameis Winston. If we going to do it, we're going to do it big.
I'm going to be up there. Huh? I'm staying at the hotel.
Yeah. We got a...
y'all better get these rooms.
Yeah, we haven't...
on the weekend?
Yeah. $99.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, $99 at the Doubletree Hotel in the heart of Buckhead. You're talking 5 minutes from Phipps Plaza, 5 minutes from Lenox Mall. I mean, just ideal. It's going to be real nice. Y'all know I do everything first class, upscale. No bootleggedness around here. So it's going to be great, man. So pass the word, and obviously I'll be telling you more about it, be promoting it. We got about 6 weeks. We're 6 weeks out from the weekend. So it's going to be great, man. Pass the word and come kick it with your boy all weekend long. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Y'all can do caravans and come up here. Y'all better get your Uber apps.
Right.
You ain't going to be driving.
Now, we've been talking about it, the Stewies, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. They've been talking about it in the chat room for a long, long time, man, on a get-together with all the Stewies and the show staff and everything. You've been looking for a reason to come to Atlanta, okay? Not only the Stewies, a lot of South Carolina people love just to come to Atlanta for any reason. So now I am making an entire weekend of events for you, man, where we're going to get together, socialize, fraternize, network, and have a great time and meet each other. A lot of people that are in the chat room every day can come and meet each other, man. We're going to have a great time. And it's in Atlanta. You know what else is going on that weekend, Tree? The Taste of Atlanta is going on that weekend as well. So, Taste of Atlanta, downtown. I think it's like in Piedmont Park, or maybe it's down there off of Auburn Avenue. I'm not exactly sure, but search that as well. There'll be a link on the Eventbrite where you can just click on it and get details about the Taste of Atlanta. So, taste some cuisine from some of the best restaurants and eateries in the city of ATL.
Wait, somebody said, Ty from Texas said, does Uber go from Texas to Atlanta?
I mean,
get on the Greyhound. I mean, you need to do whatever you need to do to get here.
Hey, Texas Ty, baby, I want to see you in the face. I want to see your face in the place. I would love to see you in Atlanta. I know you're in Texas. You might have to get on Megabus and pay about $45. But I'm sure Megabus comes here.
You, Ty.
I'm sure Megabus comes to the A. I'm sure Megabus does come to the A from Texas. You might have to pay $45, which Megabus is the greatest. We need to get Megabus as a sponsor. A couple of months back when we went, my line brothers and me went to New Orleans. A couple of my line brothers got on Megabus, and they made it there in the same amount of time that we did driving. It took them like 7 hours from Atlanta to New Orleans, and they paid $24. They didn't have to drive. Megabus is the greatest thing since sliced bread. No lie. From Atlanta to New Orleans, $24. I think that was one way.
Yeah, but you got to sit next to somebody digging in their nose. And I mean, can I have my peace of mind?
You don't get peace of mind for $24, Tree. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Beggars can't be choosy. I mean, hell, they take your ass all the way to New Orleans from Atlanta. You can't get mad if you're sitting by somebody that's coughing and rubbing their nose and rubbing it on your leg. You can't get mad. I mean, what? You know, it is what it is. But, yeah, the weekend of September 26th, man, obviously a lot more details. I'll tell you more about it. I'm going to open up the Eventbrite for pre-sale tickets to all the different events. You don't have to go to all of them. We'd ask that you come out and hang out with us on all the events, play golf with us and whatnot. But the tickets will be sold individually, and it's going to be a huge, huge weekend, man. I am looking so forward to it, meeting all of y'all. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I believe they're going to come up here, Douglas.
They might as well.
I know. You ain't got, it's Friday.
It's Friday. Right. It's Friday. You got a job, but you can tell your boss you want off. And you ain't got nothing
Friday
to do.
Friday and Monday, y'all.
Yeah, you ain't got nothing to do. Come on to the A. Get some of this Southern hospitality. So the Eventbrite will be opened up later on this evening, as well as a flyer. A flyer we got. It's going to be great, man. All right, when we get back from the break, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about these quarterbacks this past weekend and more of your chat. And maybe we'll slide in the power talk as well. I'm sorry, not power. Straight out of Compton talk as well. All right? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes!
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
I've been talking about red rice and frogmore stew. Another one on the list, on number 13 on this list, is peanuts taste better boiled. Yes. And as God is my witness, my wife did not know people boiled peanuts and ate them. She did not. My wife's from Ohio. And yes, boiled peanuts, if cooked right, are the bomb.
Sports talk. Straight, no chaser.
All right, so I got to clear something up. and I don't even know why anybody's mind would even work like this, but evidently it's becoming a topic of conversation. In the last segment, I was talking about boiled peanuts, okay, that come from out of the ground, not boiled peanuts. And so, evidently there's some talk in the chat room about Doug talking about boiled man parts. No, peanuts. I'm trying to say it as slow as I can. Peanuts, okay? What is it, P-E-A-N-U-T-S? Peanuts. No, man, not boiled peanuts. Come on, man. And I see Vern in here. Damn you, Vern. Ugh. Y'all know what the hell I was saying. This is the Doug Stewart Show. What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show.
Straight out of Compton.
And stay tuned. In a couple of minutes, we're going to talk a little bit about Straight Outta Compton. Did huge numbers this past weekend, so stay tuned for that. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Man Talk Monday. Ballers and busters, game balls and goats is what we're doing today. Having some fun talking about everything that went down this weekend in the world of sports and entertainment. In a second, we're going to talk about the NFL's preseason games this past weekend and some of the more prominent names at quarterback. But let me tell you a little bit right now about Strickland Security, man. Metro Atlanta is a great place. I just talked about having Carolina weekend, the Doug Stewart Show weekend, and the weekend, the later part of September. Atlanta, like I said earlier, got some little places, man, you need to be careful in. You got to watch yourself, all right? Just like any major city, it has some crime issues every once in a while. But to prevent that and to guard against that, man, you should holler at my folks at Strickland Security. They're an Atlanta-based security company. Whether it's installing your alarm system in your home or your business, the folks at Strickland Security are the solution. Strickland Security has a combined 55 years in the business of protecting people and property. They have a certified, licensed technicians that can service all your security needs. So if you got crime issues or concerns in your neighborhood, you need to call the experts at Strickland Security. Invite these guys to your next neighborhood watch or homeowners association meeting and let them tell you about all of their security services. One more thing, check this out. Go to their website to see their new mobile solutions. They have developed a smartphone app specifically for neighborhood crime and safety notifications. Once again, that's StricklandSecurity.com, StricklandSecurity.com, or give them a call at 800-422-9075. Once again, that's 800-422-9075. And tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Make sure and tell them that. You got to support our advertisers, man. You have to. All right? All right. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Preseason football this past weekend. For the first time this year, you got to see Jameis Winston suit up for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I think they played Minnesota. And he struggled. He struggled mightily at the very beginning. Last drive, he actually was able to complete a scoring drive and score a touchdown, a running touchdown. But what do you expect from a rookie quarterback in the NFL? His offensive line is horrible. That's going to be a problem. That's going to be an issue all day long. It seems like he didn't have a good connection with his receivers yet, which he's got some very good ones in Evans, former Texas A&M, as well as Vincent. So he's got big targets, but he struggled very early in that game. Marcus Mariota, same thing, playing against the Atlanta Falcons. He struggled early at the onset of that game. And then at the very end, he had a couple of drives that he put together. He looked okay as well. Tim Tebow actually got on the field for the Philadelphia Eagles. It looks like, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, it looks like he's worked on his delivery. That's what he's been doing for the last 2 years while he didn't give up his dream of playing in the NFL. So it looks like that he's a little bit more fluid throwing the football, but his decision-making is still Tim Tebow. And I only watched, a couple of series when these guys were in there, well, obviously because it's preseason football and we don't give a rat's ass about it, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. But Tebow it's going to be a struggle for him to make that Philadelphia Eagles team, and I think Chip Kelly wants to have him there because he can add his style of play at the quarterback position to the team, because obviously that's exactly what Chip does with the spread-type offenses. So we'll see. I don't know if Tebow's going to make the team. Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston is early. That's my summation of, in effect, what you saw out of those guys this past weekend. What are your thoughts about what you saw? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. In the next segment, we're going to talk a little bit about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish as well as the New York Jets in our preseason football reports, NFL and college. So stay tuned for that. From Harvey Scott in the chat room on Spreaker.com, he says Snoop is 0-2 in forcing his boys to play football. He needs to let those kids be themselves. Obviously, he wants it more than they did. From Clay Davis' Sheed Advisor, No Vaseline is still one of the hardest diss tracks ever. And speaking of No Vaseline, man, wow.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Balla Award 2, straight out of Compton, to the producers, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube. Balla Award to them, man. Great movie. I think I can go ahead and say that. Great movie. Fantastic movie. Somebody said something a little bit earlier. This is one of the little issues I had with it. Well, I had two issues with it. Once again, before I even get into that, though, I thought the movie was great. I thought the acting was fantastic. O'Shea Jackson's little boy played the hell out of that role. Like, I almost can't say which one played their role better. Either the guy that played Easy, the guy that played Dr. Dre, or the guy that played Ice Cube. I thought they all did phenomenal. They got a future. I think if I had to pick, if you put a gun to my head, I really like the essence of the character Easy. I thought that guy did a great job, man. The thing about these movies is this, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. When I say these movies, I'm talking about biopic movies. The way I felt about that movie was the same way I felt about the Biggie Smalls biopic when I saw that. When I left is I knew all of this. There was nothing that they said in this movie that I didn't know. So maybe for that reason alone, I won't say it's the greatest movie I've ever seen. If I give it 1 out of 5 afros, I'd probably give it, I don't know, a 3.5 afros. There was nothing because I lived it. Because most of my peers, we lived it. So there's nothing new that I learned from the movie that I didn't know or I didn't read about in the Source magazine or Double XL or something like that. I thought it was great to see, but I'm not going to classify it as one of the greatest movies I've ever seen of all time, just for that reason, because I think there's nothing I saw in it that I didn't know. Yes, Tree?
You crazy. That movie I was almost in tears. I couldn't even talk when I was doing a Periscope after I saw it. That movie, it was everything.
Now let me say this. Now let me say this, Tree. We had the conversation earlier. The difference between this is a difference. I think this is the difference between me and you. You said that you had never listened to NWA's music, that you were like banned from listening to it, so you really didn't pay attention to the NWA phenomenon. I did. That was right at my wheelhouse. You're talking late 80s, early 90s. I lived it. I remember it. As far as the guy not being there, I know everything and all the stories. I was a guy that had a subscription to the Source magazine and to XL and all of those. So I was on top of it. So maybe that's kind of the difference in how we viewed it.
I felt that like as if I'd been raped for many, many years by the media because the only soundbite I ever got was F the police,
Right,
gangs, violence, F the police, don't let your kids. Of course, I was 13, 12, 14 years old. But to hear the lyrics and to see what was happening in their map of the world, of course I would have supported that. Do I want to hear the F word every 5 seconds? Not really, but the deal is I'm taking my son to see that movie. And yes, there's some big old, whatever y'all say, several different times, pool scenes. Okay. I mean, he can see that.
How old is your son?
He's going to see it.
How old is
He's
your son?
13, and he begged me, and I was like, well, you got to talk to Charles. And then he didn't really want to say, so I went to see it, and I'm taking him to see it. And I was pissed off, and I was excited, and I was inspired, and oh, my God. You need to understand. I don't know. You just have different standards.
And also one other thing, you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. One other thing that kind of jumped out at me, too, about the movie as well, and I guess they couldn't have done anything different, and I'm being very critical, I guess, in this commentary, but I'm giving the good and the bad, is I found myself looking at my watch a lot of times. The damn movie was damn near 3 hours long. And not only that, the darn trailers, the promotional trailers, were 30 minutes long. So in all, it wasn't 3 hours long. It was probably around 2 hours and 40 minutes. And then when you add 30 minutes of promotional trailers before it even started, I was in that movie theater for over 3 hours. And I kept looking at my watch. And the great movies, and my all-time great movies, that's one thing that they all had in common is I don't care how long it was. I think Goodfellas was a long movie, but it didn't matter. I never once looked down at my watch and watching Goodfellas. I kept looking down at my watch and like, damn, I'm going to be in here till midnight.
Oh, Douglas.
Yes.
One thing I want to say is as I watched it, I couldn't help but think about where we are. I mean, there's nothing that gets me more excited than to rage against the machine. And when the letter came from the FBI, before he said it, I was like, oh, no, that is wonderful news.
Yeah, a lot of parallels between this show and doing radio and media different and how they were ostracized by the media and by the police always trying to arrest them because of the context, the content of their lyrics. Also, I thought it was very fascinating. A couple of things were fascinating. I thought it was fascinating how the more things change, the more they stay the same. You saw the issues they had with the police back then, and you just look at what's going on right now in this country and the issues black people are having with the police. I mean, that's over 25 years ago. And the same stuff is still happening, man. It's crazy. One other thing that jumped out to me as well that I thought was very cool was how they use all copyrighted music, logos, imaging. And it was really interesting to see they actually used the real logo and the real imaging of Death Row Records. Now, you saw what happened in the movie, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. When Dr. Dre left Death Row, Suge Knight owned every single thing, okay? So did Suge have to sign off on all of that stuff that they actually showed in the movie, all the original Death Row logos and signage? I mean, how did that go down?
trust and believe the ninja did, because at the end of the day, he is a businessman and he wants his storehouses full.
Yeah. And
so Dre paid for that.
Every couple of years, you can bank on it that Death Row is going to release a Death Row Christmas album or the best of Snoop Dogg or the best of Death Row, and Suge's going to make money. So I thought that was real cool as well that they were able to actually do that. They didn't have to use like some bootleg version of Death Row Records and this, that, and the other. I thought it was a great movie, man. 3.5 stars once again. The movie was a little bit long. And also, you know, the fact that I once again, I lived during that whole era, big hip-hop fan, I guess you could call myself a rap historian. All the story, the entire story. There wasn't one thing in there that happened that I didn't know about or I hadn't heard about or read about. But all in all, I thought it was a great movie, man. Yeah. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. When we get back from the break, we'll read more of your chat, and we'll also talk about, briefly, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish coming into the college football season and the New York Jets. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show.
I got a sword off, kick knowledge and bodies on hard off. You too, boy, if you get with me, the police are gonna have to come and get me.
Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. The Doug Stewart Show. The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show. If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. The world's heavyweight champion of sports talk and guy talk radio. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday. Ballers and Busters. Probably my favorite scene out of Straight Outta Compton. It was when O'Shea Jackson Jr. went in there and wrecked that dude's office. But like I said, if you remember, that story was out how Ice Cube went in there and demanded his money. And good correlation between IK, Incompali, and Geno Smith. All of the conversation about pay me my money. Ice Cube was a visionary. And you talking about a guy taking a leap of faith. You're the hottest group in America, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You're the hottest group in America. That's bona fide. You got this buzz. You making some money. I mean, you making money. You went from making no money to money. And you said to yourself, we getting screwed. Even though we got all of this stuff coming in, we are getting screwed, and everybody else just would ignore it and just they were happy with the money they were making and the things they were doing. Ice Cube was a visionary. He left the hottest group in America, started his own company, went solo, was big as hell. I mean, clearly the best rapper in the history of the West Coast, in my opinion, writing all of the rhymes for the group, left, diss tracks here, diss tracks there. He was a visionary, man, and just pay the man his money. Just like IK said to Gino, pay me my money. Just pay me what you owe me. Now, I'm not asking for nothing else. Just pay me my GD money. And very, very interesting stuff, man. Very interesting stuff. All right, let's talk a little bit of football, man, on the Doug Stewart Show. Let's talk a little bit of Notre Dame football. You know Notre Dame is an independent. Last year they were 8-5. Chip Kelly, or Brian Kelly, this is his 6th year as the head coach of Notre Dame. Every year he's had over 8 victories. So this year expect nothing less. Some of the polls that I've been looking at, they have Notre Dame top 15. This particular poll I'm looking at, USA Today, they have Notre Dame ranked the 11th best team coming into the season. The big question for Notre Dame football, the huge question about Notre Dame football is the quarterback position. Everett Golson left and went and transferred to Florida State to play his last year of college football. He was the guy that had been at the helm for the last couple of years, took them, or was the quarterback when they went to the national championship game and lost. But he's now gone. He's at Florida State. Malik Zaire is the name that you're going to hear this year very prominently. This is a guy who, when he came out of high school, was one of the top 3 dual-threat quarterbacks in high school football. So they're expecting big things out of Zaire or Malik Zaire this year for Chip Kelly's offense. And he loves those type of quarterbacks that have the ability to run and pass. So we'll see what Notre Dame does this year. Very interesting game on the schedule for Notre Dame is the Fighting Irish travel to Death Valley to take on the Clemson Tigers. I'm going to be at that game. I guess as a kid, I quasi-rooted for, I don't want to call it rooted because I didn't really root for them, but Notre Dame, like they said in that movie, like in Anchorman, I'm kind of a big thing. Notre Dame is kind of a big thing. They've got to deal with NBC, and so their games are always broadcast week in and week out. They're not in the conference. Notre Dame is a big thing. So as a kid, the Rocket Ishmael, Tony Rice was the quarterback of the national championship team from the state of South Carolina. So I always look forward to seeing Notre Dame. Notre Dame travels to Clemson Saturday, October 3rd this year. I'm going to try to get tickets to that because I would just like to see the Golden Domers hit the field. And it'd be even better if Clemson could beat them. Yeah. Also, man, the New York Jets. Oh, boy. And we're not going to keep you with the New York Jets for a lot of time. Obviously, the New York Jets coming into the new season, new head coach, Todd Bowen, defense coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals. His first year as head coach. Rex Ryan is out. Bowen is in. Last year, they won 4 football games. They won the first football game of the season, and they won the last, and they won 2 in between. But a horrible team. 4-12 on the season last year once again, and they're probably going to suck again. I mean, obviously, they're in a tough division. They're in a division with the Buffalo Bills, who are coming up, one of the up-and-coming teams in the NFL, and they're also in the conference with an up-and-coming Miami Dolphins. And at the end of the day, they're still in the same conference with the New England Patriots. So going to be another tough year, I think, for the New York Jets. Interesting thing about the Jets is they bring back Darrelle Revis and Antonio Cromartie. Now, these guys might be the best tandem at cornerbacks in the NFL, but they're a little bit older right now, a little bit long in the tooth. Were a great tandem for many years in New York before. They left, went to a couple of different teams, and now they are both back in New York. How much do they have left in the tank? And the big question about the New York Jets coming into this season is the quarterback position. It's been muddied even more when you talk about what happened with Geno Smith this past weekend and IK Enemkpali and getting his jaw busted up in 2 places and having to miss 6 to 10 weeks. This past weekend, there was a story that came out that Geno, after the surgery, says that he feels great, and he was actually out there tossing around with some of his teammates this weekend as well. Jets staff and management didn't like that at all. You've got to protect yourself. You've got to get well, and And even though you're just tossing around the football, you're not using your jaw doing that. It just doesn't send off a good sign. And Gino is definitely on the hot seat. He's got to get it done this year in a big, big way and show vast improvement. If he doesn't, he will be a career backup in the NFL just for a couple of years, and then he will be out of the league. So there you have it. A little conversation about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the New York Football Jets. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let me read more of your chat talking about Snoop's son. We got to talk about James Harrison before we get out of here and his thoughts on participation trophies. I'm with you, brother. As well as NFL quarterbacks, the PGA Championship. There's a lot of stuff we've gotten into today, but let me read more of your chat. And you can hit me on the chat on Spreaker.com. From JB Jennings, if power keeps this up, it may be top 5 all-time show. This show is great, real talk. It is very good. From Detroit, Matt, best part of the movie was when they did Straight Outta Compton in Detroit, and when they first dropped No Vaseline. Yeah, it was good. They built that up, man, that whole thing, and their stage shows that they did back in the day very well in the movie. Every time I hear Straight Outta Compton, I think Straight Outta Low Cash. You remember in CB4 when Chris Rock, it was kind of like a playoff of NWA, and they did, instead of doing Straight Outta Compton, they did the Straight Outta Low Cash. Real funny stuff. From JB Jennings, great weekend for your boy. Caught both Power and Straight Outta Compton. I thought it was 50 that was doing Tasha because as he was trying to kill Ghost, he mentioned something along those lines. Yeah, 50 did say something in that back and forth to the degree of something about Tasha. He also mentioned something about Sean wasn't his son, that it was Ghost's son. Did you hear that, Tree? What'd you think about that? Did you catch that? What was that all about? You think Ghost was Sean's daddy for real?
I don't know that that's possible, but probably not that 50 is. And maybe Sean's daddy is going to come back and avenge his son's death.
Oh, okay.
That leaves room for that, possibly.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see which direction they take the show in next year for season 3. From Keen 941, BPA to Straight Outta Compton for bringing Pac in the mix too early. What do you mean? What do you mean they brought Pac in the mix too early? Now, Pac was in jail. I guess they didn't show the whole thing about Suge bailing him out of jail or whatever for the rape charge and then him joining up with Death Row, and Tupac had all his music written when he was in jail, and as soon as he hit the streets, he was recording night in and night out. I guess they kind of glossed over that, but what do you mean they brought him in too soon? I don't understand that. From 90 the Rhino, Tiger should visit Kobe's doctor. From Busta, I'm going to nominate Tiger Woods for induction into the BPA Hall of Fame. Busta Bus with his face needs to be made. From Thel Pay, Easy was about to take Suge out. Yeah, he wanted to kill Suge. Now, that's one thing I was talking about in the first show. There's nothing in the movie that I hadn't heard about or that I didn't know. The way they kind of, that kind of came across is that Easy really was making plans to kill Suge. Right. I knew about he had been assaulted by Suge's people or whatever, but I didn't know that he really, and I guess you could think that. I guess back up. I guess that is something that I did know. If you get beat up by a dude and his boys, and you supposedly this gang member, yeah, in your mind, it probably would pop in your mind that you're going to kill dude or you're going to take him out. Yes, Tree.
Suge just is so special needs. His behavior is very special needs. You don't give me what I want, I'm going to fight you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the way it works.
He had all of them acting like that around him.
Yeah, Suge, and once again, very real to life, the way that it was reported, how everything went down. Suge was terrorizing folks, man. Suge was throwing his weight around, literally and figuratively, and that's the way it came across back in the day, and that's the way it definitely came across in the movie. Real good stuff. I thought the guy that played Suge was good. I thought the way that he did it, he kind of like, the story. Once again, the story. Suge was like a bodyguard, and he was hanging around. He was like a bouncer at clubs or whatever, and he just started hanging around, and he was one of those staunch, businessmen, saw an opportunity, and took advantage of it, and the rest is history. Death Row Records. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, when we get back from the break, all I'm going to do is read chat. We'll finish up today's show. See, today is a show where we need a third hour. We need a third hour a lot, but especially today because it's too much to talk about, too much good chat out there. Damn it. I tell you what, you can help your boy in your favorite show, The Doug Stewart Show, get that third hour. Donate to the show at thedougstewartshow.com. There's a little donate button. If you donate $20 or more, we'll send you your very own official first run t-shirt for the Doug Stewart Show, as well as you be helping us build this thing up, man, to an even bigger and better place. All right, that's thedougstewartshow.com. Click on the donate button. $20 or more. You don't just have to do $20. Now, if you want to donate $500, $5,000, $50,000, you can do it there as well. And it's all secure on PayPal. I don't want you to think you have to limit yourself to $20. All right, you love this show? You want a third hour? Help independent radio. Help me. Help my kids eat. TheDougStewartShow.com. All right, more chat when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Get your hands off the dial. Stay right there. First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Yeah. We in the house for the 93 shot. MC8, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no faking the funk. And ain't nothing but a Compton thing. And this one's going out to all my homeboys. Rest in peace. Yeah. A crooked childhood is right the way I am. It's got me in the state where I don't give a damn. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday. Shouts out to all of the Stewies in the chat room, man. I really do appreciate it. It's going down the weekend of September 26th, 2015, about 6 weeks out, man. The Doug Stewart Show weekend, anniversary weekend, as well as Carolina weekend. I'm bringing all my peoples from the state of South Carolina, the great state of South Carolina, to Atlanta for a weekend to celebrate the one-year anniversary of the show. Pay attention to your social media platforms. A little bit later today, we're going to release the Eventbrite where you can buy advance tickets, where you can book your room at the DoubleTree Hotel in Buckhead for $99 a night. You can't beat that with a stick. Hell, you're staying at a great hotel, plushness in the heart of Buckhead, 5 minutes from shopping. And when you leave, they're going to give your ass a big-ass chocolate chip cookie. So it's all going down the weekend of September 26th. Speaking of the weekend of September 26th, my university, and this thing just worked out so perfectly that particular weekend. South Carolina State University that weekend has a bye weekend. That's right. We have a bye weekend. Okay? So we, for the last couple of years, had played in the Classic that particular weekend, us and North Carolina A&T. And so, we're not in the Classic this year. I'm not even sure if they even have a Classic game this year. But that's the weekend where we would have played it in the past. So we both have bye weekends. So if you went to South Carolina State, if you're from the state of South Carolina, if you went to North Carolina A&T, it is Carolina weekend, quote, unquote, not just South Carolina weekend. Come on to Atlanta, man, and kick it. You know you want to come to Atlanta anyway. So it's a perfect weekend, perfect timing to come and kick it with your boy, man, and just celebrate. It's a celebration. Speaking of South Carolina State, shouts out to my university. South Carolina State University will host its annual Meet the Players Day Saturday, September 22nd. The event starts at 1 p.m. The event is hosted by the State Club, the official booster organization for the university. Come out and enjoy the blue and garnet game, music, guests, food. Meet South Carolina State players and cheerleaders. For more information, go to scsuathletics.com. That's scsuathletics.com. Yes, sir. Always give love to my university. Always. From Jersey, Vern. What up, Vern? I don't know why the studio audience is booing you. Maybe it's because it's you. From Jersey, Vern, he says, I'm in this bitch straight out of the doctor's office. Vern, did you have that colonoscopy I urged my listeners to go and do last week? What happened? What's going on, Vern? You okay?
Well, you done shot the ninja about 1,200 times, so, what do you expect? Hey, Vern, I'm glad you made it in spite of your being at the doctor.
Yeah, for new listeners to the Doug Stewart Show, Vern from Jersey is a triple platinum listener, longtime listener of the Two Live Stews. Now he listens on this show, and he always calling up here on the show saying something crazy, so I have to put radio lead in his ass a lot of times. Love him to death, though. Love him like a play cousin. From Thorny Switch, let people tell it now. Tiger wasn't that great in the first place. He's now recognized as great to emphasize the fact that he's not doing well now. There's a collective group that are too happy to remind everyone that Jack still holds the title for most wins. Oh, I don't doubt that 1 second. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there, fans of Jack Nicklaus, not fans of Tiger Woods, that are happy that it seems like Tiger Woods isn't going to pass Jack Nicklaus in majors. I definitely agree with you on that. From Miss Mocha Bella, Tebow time, question mark. From 9-0 the Rhino, yeah, Tebow, and once again, all of this Tebow mania is looking like it's going to come back. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Tebow, average at best, or below average at best. And he's like the first story on ESPN.com. My man 9-0 the Rhino just told me that as well. I can't take no more of that. My blood pressure just can't take Tebow mania anymore, man. Please with the Tebow mania. From Grego, I hope Tebow gets the opportunity. I don't think he's good at all, but he seems to work hard. Yeah, there's a lot of guys that work hard that just don't have the talent to play in the NFL, though. What? That doesn't mean anything. From Grego, Pinstripe was the angriest dude in the courtroom when Tommy got free. Busta, Power sounds like a very good soap opera for ninjas, laugh out loud. It's pretty much what it is. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show from Grego. Dre has no loyalty. Angela and Ghost cut from the same cloth. The whole thing about the dude Dre is you can never tell, or at least I couldn't. I couldn't tell on whether he was about to double-cross Kanan or he was about to double-cross Ghost. Like he was going back and forth, and they kept showing him, but they never really showed his true motives. And I guess the very end when you saw he was down with Ghost, I guess that actually came to light. But that whole thing was very confusing. Like, who is dude really playing? Is he playing Ghost or is he playing Kanan? From Clay Davis' Sheed Advisor, I wouldn't trust Dre as well. From Cleo to 72, laugh out loud. I thought it was funny in Straight Outta Compton when they all said, bye, Felicia. Yeah, that was funny. From Cleo to 72, I did like how Snoop went to the studio and was like, what up, cuz? I'm doing my Snoop Dogg voice. And even after he was surrounded by bloods, he stood his ground. From Vince Wright, Angela sold her partner out. Cold-ass move from J.B. Jennings. Damn, I'm tired of Holly ass. I am too, man. You know her ass wouldn't have come back in real life after Ghost paid her ass. Yeah, what chick you know, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, gives back a bag full of money, you know, when all she got to do is just leave town? She wasn't doing nothing for herself. Does she really love Tommy like that?
But that's what it helps him to believe that. Like, she really loves me. She didn't take the money.
And I guess if you really think about it, the little bit of money Ghost gave her is a lot in relative terms to what everybody else is giving her or would have given her just to leave town. But she stayed with Tommy, and she's seen dude got hollow walls full of money. So I guess if she was playing her cards right, it would be better off to stay with Tommy and get big purse than the relatively big purse that was given to her by Ghost. You feel me? From Cleo to 72, I did like how Snoop, all right, read that one, sorry. From Joseph Hudson, y'all see Tebow yesterday? Man, I hope the Eagles don't make the mistake of keeping that dude. Yeah, he didn't look good at all. He's worked on his mechanics a little bit, but it's still not enough. Tebow sucks. Tim Tebow sucks. Yes, sir. Tim Tebow sucks, man. Hey, man, what do you got here? Look at the Stewies in here, man. Oh, man, thank y'all so much for joining me today on the Doug Stewart Show. I got one question for you. Are you not entertained? Huh? Ha-ha! Yes, sir. You know your ass is entertained, baby. Yeah. Yeah. All right, we'll do it again tomorrow. Shouts out to the Tree of Life, the producer for the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you, Tree, for doing all that you do. Waterhead, Walter, Dwayne Bassan, Gerald Oliveri, thank you very much for engineering, getting this show online, where people all over this great land and all over the world can hear us. Thank you very much, guys. I really do appreciate it. Shouts out, special shouts out to all of the Stewies and all the listeners across the land. Thank you very much for supporting the Doug Stewart Show. Once again, if you donate $20 or more, we'll send you your very own official first-run edition of the Doug Stewart Show t-shirt. We're doing big things on Fiverr.com. We will advertise your show, your event, whatever it may be, starting at $5 on Fiverr.com. Yes, sir, that's how we doing it around here, man. The weekend of September 26th is going to be crazy. Look for the Eventbrite with all the details. Flyer a little bit later today. It's a celebration, bitches. Yes. All right. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time. Same Doug Stewart channel. Peace.